And for me to like open up a little bit here
Yeah.
and like show like a little bit like the weakness I've been through in my 20s, like porn was a big one for me. I through my most of my teenage years, my young teenage years, I didn't realize how much porn was this like outlet for me. Like whenever I was depressed, I just watched porn. Whenever I was not feeling good or socially isolated or whatever, I would watch porn. So then going into college, like it was just such a thing for me that like I would watch porn to make myself happy. And I was never like I was never watching porn 6, 7 times a day, every single day, but it was a constant occurrence for me daily. Like it was something I just considered a part of my life because it made me happy and it would take away the bad feelings temporarily. And through like at one point in my 20s, in my early 20s, I realized the consequence of watching porn daily, that I was just draining my dopamine and it wasn't good for me. And I tried to quit it. And I would last a few days and then I would get back to it. And then again, I'd think about it and I'd try to quit it again and I'd last a week. And it was this process that like, man, I'd say probably from 23 up until 27, 28, that like it was this I constantly tried to quit it and constantly kept going back to it, constantly tried to quit it. And eventually what happened is eventually the quitting turned into like, okay, well now I'm quitting it for a month at a time, then I go back to it for a few days. And I quit it for a month and I'd go back to it for a few days. Which in hindsight, like I was not when I was failing at those times, I wasn't looking at them as progress from when I used to fail for the fact that I'd only quit it for a week and I'd go right back to it for a few weeks and I'd quit it for a week. I never saw that as progress. But in hindsight now that I've not watched porn for 2 years,
Good job.
thank you. It's this realization that holy shit, how many times did I have to fail at quitting porn till it stuck?
Doesn't matter. It's stuck.
It doesn't matter because it's stuck.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I don't think I don't think it was possible for me when I was 23 at the very first time to quit it, to just quit it and I was done. I needed to fail at quitting it enough times for me to finally figure out how to quit it for good. And man, I like the minute little changes that every time I quit and went back to it and quit and went back to it, and the periods got extended and extended. It's such minute little changes in the way I thought of it, the way I perceived it, before it finally just went over that hill.
Yeah.
And quitting it for that last time was like I'm not quitting and counting my days. I'm quitting for life.
Yeah. That's
And,
good.
and to me, that has been such a damn valuable lesson because I failed at it so much in my 20s that I like questioned if I was like, I'm just going to watch porn for the rest of my life.
Sure.
And at one point I like wrote down, I think, cause I really use like writing stuff to myself a lot.
Yep.
And I wrote down, I was like, I don't want to be 35 years old someday and still trying to quit porn.
Right.
Like that felt bad to me.
Yeah.
That idea that there's this thing I recognize as negative, and for me to still be at the age of 35, like not able to quit it. I'm 31 now, and I'm glad I can say like, yep, I quit it for the last 2 years, and I could tell that like sometimes when I'm feeling low or sad, my brain wants to like tell me, hey, why don't you go chase dopamine somewhere?
Yeah.
But it's amazing the way I like treat it differently now. You
Yeah.
know, if a reel comes up on Instagram that's like a little spicy,
Oh, they happen all the time.
exactly. And my brain used to like let me go on a path of like, scroll it. And then when you scroll one spicy, one little, whatever, reel on Instagram wants to throw more at you.
The doom scrolling.
Yeah, we're like now it's amazing to me how my brain sees that and catches it, and then I go click on those three little buttons and say not interested and don't show me more content like this shit.
What?
Yeah,
That's a thing?
yeah. So like I now actively make like when that shit comes up, I'm like I don't want to give my brain, because I know there's that voice, that part of my brain that would not want to quit porn that I had to learn how to deal with.
Yeah.
It's still in there, and it's still just as likely to want to get back into watching porn daily if I just let it. So it's like this like constant daily discipline. And I mean, it's not daily anymore.
Yeah.
But for the longest time of those first 2 years, it was this daily discipline.
Yeah.
Of don't click on it. Like don't scroll it. Don't click on her page to look at more of her reels because she put up this video that caught your attention, and now your brain, there's the little whatever primal part of your brain is like, I want to look at more of that, like,
Yeah.
but man, like that was so hard to have to like fight at first every day and to accept that like, nope, this isn't who I am. This isn't what it's not even that this isn't who I am. This isn't who I want to be.